Actor Michelle Trachtenberg, known for her unforgettable roles that defined a generation of television, tragically passed away from complications related to diabetes, according to the New York City Medical Examiner's Office. Confirmation came on a somber Wednesday, closing a chapter far too soon for an actress whose light had shone in the hearts of fans since childhood. She was just 39 years old. Her sudden passing in February sent shockwaves across the entertainment industry and among longtime fans who had followed her career since she was a child. She was found unresponsive inside her apartment in New York City, the same city where she had taken her first breaths and the city she never strayed too far from. At the time, law enforcement officials said there was no indication of foul play. The details were sparse and the questions were many. How could someone so young, someone who had seemed so full of life, be gone? And so quietly? Over the weeks that followed, as the world mourned, there was a growing sense that her death was not as simple as it appeared. Eventually, it came to light that Trachtenberg had recently undergone a liver transplant. The news startled many. There had been no public mention of any long-term illness. She had kept her health battles close to the chest, facing them not in the spotlight but in private, a choice perhaps reflective of a woman who, though once a teen icon, had grown to cherish privacy in a world that seldom offers it. While it remains unclear exactly why she required a liver transplant, medical professionals point to diabetes as a contributing factor. Diabetes, a disease that affects how the body processes blood sugar, can quietly, insidiously erode a person's health over time, especially when it goes unchecked or when it intersects with other risk factors. According to the Mayo Clinic, people with diabetes are at a significantly increased risk of developing non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, a condition where fat accumulates in the liver, leading to inflammation, scarring, and potentially liver failure. In more severe cases, the disease may progress to cirrhosis, which can result in the need for a liver transplant. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention notes that the relationship between liver disease and type 2 diabetes is a two-way street. Two conditions not only coexist but often aggravate one another. High blood pressure, elevated cholesterol levels, and obesity, common among those living with either condition, become accelerants to a slow-burning fire within the body. It's a quiet battle, one waged beneath the skin and often unnoticed by the public eye until it's too late. Michelle Trachtenberg may not have been open about her personal health, but she was far from invisible in the world of television and film. From the moment she stepped onto the screen as a young girl, there was something striking about her, a sharp intelligence in her eyes, a complexity in her performances that hinted at someone far beyond her years. It's little surprise she caught the attention of major producers and audiences alike. Her breakthrough role, of course, was as Dawn Summers in the beloved series Buffy the Vampire Slayer. From 2000 to 2003, she portrayed the younger sister of Buffy, played by Sarah Michelle Gellar. Dawn was a unique and emotionally challenging character, not just a sister or sidekick, but someone carrying the weight of destiny, a mystical key made flesh, woven into the storyline with both tenderness and turmoil. Michelle brought to life Dawn's vulnerability, defiance, and confusion with such raw authenticity that viewers grew fiercely protective of her. Over more than 60 episodes, she became a staple of the show's latter years, earning both admiration and critique, but always provoking a reaction. Her performance left a lasting impression. Dawn wasn't just another teenage girl on television. She was layered, imperfect, and emotionally real. The role required someone who could hold their own opposite a cast of strong personalities and complex story arcs, and Michelle rose to the challenge. Her portrayal deepened the emotional impact of the series and became integral to its mythology. Fans who had grown up with Buffy watched her character grow, stumble, and find strength, mirroring the journey of many of the show's viewers. In the wake of her death, 20th Century Fox Television, the studio behind Buffy, released a heartfelt statement. Michelle touched a generation of television fans throughout her career, including in her unforgettable role as the independent and strong-willed Dawn Summers in Buffy. Their words echoed the sentiments of millions of fans worldwide who had found pieces of themselves in Michelle's characters. But her career did not end with Buffy. In fact, some of her most iconic work came years later in the CW's smash hit series Gossip Girl, where she played Georgina Sparks, a cunning, manipulative, and endlessly entertaining character who regularly threw chaos into the lives of the show's wealthy elite. Appearing in 28 episodes between 2008 and 2012, Georgina was the kind of character viewers loved to hate and couldn't get enough of. And in the hands of Michelle Trachtenberg, she was magnetic. There was a spark, pardon the pun, that Michelle brought to Georgina that elevated the role beyond a one-dimensional villain. She played her with wit, venom, and occasionally surprising pathos. Beyond the headlines and the roles, however, Michelle Trachtenberg was more than an actress. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend. She had dreams, fears, and demons like anyone else. And while the world often saw her through the lens of her characters, those closest to her knew the woman behind the fame, the girl who had grown up on sets, who navigated early fame in an unforgiving industry, who carried the pressure of public life while wrestling with private pain. Her longtime co-star and on-screen sister, Sarah Michelle Gellar, was among the many to speak out in the aftermath of Michelle's death. Gellar took to Instagram to share a tribute that broke hearts across the internet. Her caption echoed a line from the Buffy Season 5 finale, one of the show's most emotionally powerful episodes, where Buffy sacrifices her life to save Dawn. "Michelle, listen to me. Listen. I love you. I will always love you," Gellar wrote. "The hardest thing in this world is to live in it. I will be brave. I will live for you." Those words, written over 2 decades ago for a fictional farewell, became painfully real. It was as if fiction and life had collided in the most gut-wrenching way imaginable. Post was more than just a farewell. It was a promise, a cry, a memory frozen in time. And Gellar wasn't alone. Tributes poured in from colleagues, fans, and fellow actors who had worked with or been inspired by Michelle. They remembered her not just for her roles, but for her sharp wit, her warmth, and her fierce intelligence. In an industry often criticized for its coldness, Michelle was remembered as someone who was fiercely loyal, deeply passionate, and often misunderstood. As stories of her kindness and quiet courage emerged, so too did questions about how the pressures of fame may have impacted her health. Child actors, after all, often face battles the public never sees, from the demands of early stardom to the mental toll of growing up in front of a camera. It's a life that can be both a gift and a curse, and for many, the scars remain long after the credits roll. Michelle's journey was no exception. While she never publicly spiraled the way some child stars have, there were hints over the years that she had taken a step back from the limelight, choosing privacy over perpetual visibility. It's easy to forget, in an age of oversharing and constant social media, that some stars choose silence, not because they have something to hide, but because they are protecting their peace. Her decision to keep her health struggles private, even in the face of such a serious condition, was perhaps her final act of control in a life that had long been lived under public scrutiny. And while fans may now wish they had known, perhaps the greatest honor they can give her is respecting that choice. Michelle Trachtenberg's death is a reminder of the fragility of life, especially in the shadows of fame. It's a wake-up call about the hidden battles many face, whether they're on-screen heroes or not. It's also a call to pay more attention to the health crises that quietly claim lives every day. Diabetes is one of them. Liver disease is another. And when the two converge, the results can be devastating. But this story, though rooted in tragedy, is also one of legacy. Michelle left behind more than just a list of film credits. She left behind stories, moments, and memories that changed people. She played characters who were complicated, messy, and real, just like all of us. She offered glimpses of strength in the face of adversity, light in the darkness, and vulnerability that gave others permission to feel the same.